A sharply dressed black man steps into an obscure jewelry store in downtown Atlanta, his presence commanding vacuum. The manager barely looks up, already assuming it won't be long. Wisa tells Cohen. The staff brushes him off, refusing to show in the Egan pieces. Come back with someone who can afford it. The manager sneers. Around them, customers pause, watching, sensing something isn't right. Welcome to our channel. Marcus Langford wasn't born into bad, he was born into greed. At 39, es a picture of success. Clean cut, impeccably dressed, and calm in a way that commands attention without saying a word. But the road to this version of Marcus was anything but smooth. He grew up in the heart of a struggling Atlanta neighborhood, where gunshots echoed more often than opportunity. Raised by a single mother who were two hopes, Marcus found refuge in the one safe haven that would change his life, a teeny underfunded public library. That's where he discovered coding, teaching himself through borrowed books and outdated computers. While other kids were outside chasing trouble, Marcus was inside chasing algorithms. Years later, after countless setbacks and rejections, Marcus launched his first startup from a cramped apartment. Investors didn't take him seriously at first. Too young, too inexperienced, and if they were honest, too black. But Marcus had what most didn't, a relentless drive and a vision that wouldn't be ignored. Eventually, his breakthrough up, an AI-powered productivity platform, exploded in popularity, pulling in millions in revenue and setting the stage for an empire. Today, as the CEO of Langford, a luxury lifestyle brand that spans fashion, tech, and again retail. Among his latest ventures is a line of luxury jewelry boutiques designed to marry elegance with modern identity, one of which now stands proudly in the heart of downtown Atlanta. Marcus isn't flashy. He don't wear his success on his sleeve. No bodyguards. No entourages. He believes in walking into a room and letting silence speak for him. But even with a less achieved, Marcus knows that the world don't always see what is built. Sometimes, they use the color of his skin. That quiet, persistent truth follows him everywhere, lingering in side eyes, in patterns in tones, in questions like can it help you, delivered with suspicion instead of service. And it was that some truths that good confront him once again, in the very store revealed. One quiet Thursday afternoon, Marcus Langford decided to visit one of his newest jewelry boutiques, unannounced. No security detail, no assistant. Just Marcus in his usual crisp navy suit, leather briefcase in hand, and calm confidence in his stride. He often made test surprise visits to ensure the customer experience matched the brand's values. Today, he wanted to see how his store treated someone who walked in off the street. From the moment he stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted. The frontline associates glanced up, then quickly looked away. The manager, a well-dressed man in his early años 40 and met Richard, Stephen Ed, without knowing who Marcus was, sized him up with a glance, and dismissed him just as fast. Marcus browsed quietly, eyeing the craftsmanship of this plaza himself at the previous months ago. When he escaped to view a platinum and emerald bracelet, a signature piece from his luxury collection, Richard scoffed under his breath. That one is not for browsing, he said flatly. We only show that piece to cities by years. Marcus maintained his composure. It is still light to take a look. Richard's expression hardened. No offense, sir, but that piece is well out of your price range. Maybe check the items in the display by the front door. We have some Loveren rings there. Before Marcus could respond, Richard discreetly nodded toward the security guard, who sadly repositioned himself to keep Marcus in view. The unspoken message was loud and clear. You don't belong here. Without another word, Marcus turned and walked out. No scene, no confrontation. Used a quiet exit into the hallway outside the store. But as the glass door closed behind him, he pulled out his phone and dialed a number. 7 minutes later, the atmosphere inside the boutique flipped. The doors flew open. In walked the regional director of Langford and the head of human resources, both summoned by Marcus Cal. Their presence immediately created a ripple of confusion among the staff. The manager straightened up, visibly nervous now, sensing something was wrong but not yet understanding the scale of it. The silence in the store turned heavy. The customers watched. The employees froze. Richard's face ran no color as the HR director looked around and calmly asked, "Where is the manager?" Atense hase te dover de storas de regional director Angel of Achere, stood near the main display counter. Employees whispered nervously, casting glances toward the manager, Richard, who now looked visibly pale. The customers, once casually browsing, were now watching intently, sensing that something important was unfolding. Then the doors opened again. Marcus Langford stepped back inside, but this time, not as an anonymous customer. His posture was taller, voice firme, presence undeniable. There was no need for rash voices. His silence carried weight. A few customers gasped quietly in recognition. One woman near the back began recording on her phone, whispering, "That's Marcus Langford. He owns this place." The manager froze, confusion and disbelief etched into his face. "Emerald Langford?" he asked, blinking as if trying to undo the movement. He didn't realize. Marcus stopped directly in front of him. His expression was calm, but his eyes were sharp. "No, you didn't," he said. "And that's exactly the problem." Richard began scrambling for words, stumbling through excuses. "Sir, please understand, we have strict protocols. Ik value items require prequalification. Ik was used following procedure." Marcus raised a hand. "Protocol or profiling?" The question hit hard. Everyone could feel it. The entire store seemed to hold its breath. Marcus turned slightly to address the other employees. "Out of curiosity," he said, voice steady, "did anyone think to correct your manager's assumptions? Did anyone step in when it was told, Conte for the piece my company designs and sells?" Silence. A few staff members looked down at the floor. The assistant manager shifted awkwardly but said nothing. One young sales associate, eyes glossy, looked like they wanted to speak, but fair el head still. Marcus returned his gaze to Richard. "Tell me, what exactly made you think he wasn't a serious customer?" Richard stammered. It wasn't personal. It didn't mean to offend." "But you did." Marcus' voice didn't rise, but the impact deepened. "You offended me. You insulted the brand. And you embarrassed yourself." As the storyman instanced silence, Marcus' mind flashed back to his early career. Investor meetings where he was mistaken for an intern. Interviews where his with counterparts were addressed fierce. Elevator moments in corporate buildings where people clashed their backs tighter. Time and again, he was reminded that his achievements came second to his appearance. And now, even after building an empire, after creating opportunities for others to rise, he was still being treated like an outsider. He turned to the assistant manager. What exactly happened before he left the store? The assistant hesitated, caught between loyalty and truth. "You asked to see the emerald bracelet, and Richard said it wasn't for browsing. Then asked security to watch you." Marcus nodded slowly. "And has that ever happened with any other customer here? Say, someone not dressed like me?" No answer. He turned toward the HR director. "We need to reevaluate the team culture here immediately." The regional director added, "We will launch a full investigation into this store's training and behavior. This isn't just about one manager." Marcus looked back at the staff. "This is bigger than today. It's about what kind of brand we're building, and what kind of people we trust to represent it." Richard's face was drawn of confidence. And what was coming, what couldn't stop it? The staff now stood in clear emotional contrast, some with shame and regret in their eyes, others frozen by guilt or complicity. The customers remained riveted, some filming, others whispering among themselves. One woman near the checkout nodded solemnly, as if silently thanking Marcus for standing his ground. This was no longer just about one incident. It was about exposing the kind of quiet prejudice that often hides behind policy and politeness. And Marcus, who had endured years of being underestimated, wasn't going to let it slide, not in his own house. The room was so still, you could hear the soft hum of the display lights. Every pair of eyes, employees and customers alike, was locked on Marcus Langford as he stood centered in the showroom, poised like the leader he had always been. He took a breath and began, voice steady but resonant. When it was well, you said to walk past stores like this and wondered what kind of people shop inside. It pressed my face to the glass and imagined a day could afford to walk in, be seen, be respected. He glanced slowly around the room. And yet, even now, as the owner of this brand, he walking on I'm told it don't belong. The tension in the air ripple. This isn't the use about one bal yad mencal, he continued. It's about what it says to the next young black entrepreneur who walks into this space. It's about what it says to the woman wearing second-hand clothes who may be buying her first piece of real jewelry. It's about whether we see people or use assume things about them. He turned directly to Richard, his voice unwavering. You gave me the moment he walked in. Not on merit, not on how he treated you. Use appearance. And in doing so, you didn't use disrespect me. You disrespect every value this brand stands for. The room held its breath. You're fired, Marcus said, clear and calm. A sharp gasp cut through the silence. Then another, and then, like a wave, murmurs and scattered applause began to rise among the customers. A woman near the door clapped slowly, deliberately. Another customer asked her phone eager, still recording, catching every second. Richard stood frozen, mouth slightly open, processing the blow. Marcus turned to the rest of the staff. This isn't a USA store. This is a message. A place that meant to say, you're seen, you're valued, you matter. A pause, letting the weight of his words settle. This isn't a USA brand. It's a legacy. And he won't let anyone stand it with ignorance. The request, final, unsacable. Houston, a junior employee whispers something to the assistant manager, pointing toward her phone. The assistant manager checked her toe, eyes widening slightly. Sir, she said softly, stepping forward. It's already on social media. The videos going viral. Marcus gave a subtle nod, unsurprised. Good, he said. Maybe they make someone think twice and estimate they want to judge someone based on what they think they see. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. Within minutes, local news outlets were picking up the footage. Headlines buzz. Seo que en France racial profiling in his own store. Marcus Langford's viral stand for respect and representation. The world was watching now. But more importantly, so was everyone in that room. And they both forget what they had used witnessed, not because of the power of Marcus' position, but because of the power of his principles. The next morning, Marcus called for a mandatory all-staff meeting at the company's headquarters. The Mugwestense, but his tone remained calm, resolute. Estuve fuera de team, not as a scolding boss, but as a leader with purpose. This isn't just about one incident, a vegan. It's about the systems we allow to exist when we were not paying attention. He introduced a sweeping inclusivity and unconscious bias training program to be rolled out across our retired locations, starting immediately. Every employee, from top management to part-time clerks, will be required to attend. Additionally, hiring practices will be structured to prioritize diverse, equitable representation in leadership roles. Anonymous reporting lines were set up. Store culture evaluations will be conducted quarterly. A few hours later, the company released a public statement. Langford Luxury is built on the values of dignity, inclusion, and excellence. What occurred in our Atlanta location is unacceptable and not representative of who we are or am to be. We are taking immediate steps to hold ourselves accountable, implement change, and ensure that all customers and employees are treated with the respect they deserve. The reaction online was explosive. Supporters praised Marcus for taking swift, transparent action. Civil rights groups applauded the leadership. Influencers and news outlets shared the video widely, calling it a masterclass in calm accountability. But not everyone approved. Some conservative commentators accused Marcus of overreacting, of making a spectacle out of a private personnel matter. To that, Marcus responded during an interview with a single line, when dignity is publicly denied, accountability must be taught. Meanwhile, the fire manager, Richard, gave an awkward, defensive interview to a local news outlet. He claimed the situation was blown out of proportion and insisted that race had nothing to do with it. But the damage was done. The video clip spoke louder than his words, and public sympathy was not on his side. Through it all, Marcus remained composed, focused not on event but reform. He hadn't set out to make a scene. He had set out to make a statement, and had done exactly that. 1 month later, Marcus returned to the same jewelry store. This time, Edinte guerra suit, used a simple sweater and slacks. Walked in alone, quietly. Everything felt different. The staff greeted him with warm smiles and genuine professionalism. This place were cleaner. The energy in the room was attentive but unforced. As a browse, a young black employee approached him, mi 20S, confident but respectful. Mr. Langford, it's an honor. He just wanted to say, thank you. I was here that day. You didn't know me, but what you did changed everything. You said to feel invisible here. Now, I'm assistant manager. Marcus smiled, extended his hand, and got a young man a firm, proud handshake. Earn it every day, he said, and help others do the same. It didn't stay long. As he stepped outside into the Atlanta sunlight, no one questioned his presence. No one watched him suspiciously. His power didn't need announcing. It lingered in the police's chant. The perception shifted, and the leaves uplifted. And as it disappeared down the street, one quiet truth remained. Sometimes, power speaks loudest in silence. And justice can come in you 7 minutes.